Okay, so welcome to yoga class. It's my first time doing anything like this. I usually teach a live class in the flesh on Mondays, but since our classes might be canceled in the near future because of the coronavirus pandemic, I wanted to record some classes so that you can still practice. So we'll start on the mat as usual, finding our comfortable seated position, and that might mean sitting cross-legged, or it might mean sitting on a block, or just sitting back on your heels. Any way that you can sit that will let you feel comfortable and strong so you can keep a really nice long spine without spending a lot of effort. So once you've found your comfortable seated position for today, just let your eyes close. And start by relaxing your face. So check in with your forehead. Make sure that the muscles of your forehead are relaxed. Make sure your eyebrows are relaxed, the muscles around your eyes, all the little muscles around your mouth. Make sure your jaw is relaxed. And then bring your attention to your posture. Get a little bit taller through your spine. Imagine that you can make a little bit more space between your vertebrae by lifting up from the crown of your head, as if somebody had tied a string to the very crown of your head and just pulling straight upwards. If you want to, you can bring your shoulders up and back and then down to open up the chest a little bit and make a little bit more space to breathe. And then just start to notice your breath. So pay attention to what you're starting with today. Without changing anything just yet, just notice. Are you breathing deeply or shallowly, quickly or slowly? And how is that breath a reflection of your mood, your emotions right now? And then gently we'll begin to transition into our Dirga Swasam, the 3-part yogic breath. You can keep your hands in your lap, or you can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. With your next inhalation in through your nose, draw the breath all the way down into your abdomen, letting the belly expand. And as you continue inhaling, let the ribcage expand. And finally feel your chest lift up as you top off that breath. And exhale in reverse, let the chest fall down. Ribcage draws in, and navel draws back towards the spine. Inhale again into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And exhale in reverse, chest, ribs, and belly. And continue like this for a couple more rounds, working to make the breath long and smooth and even. Thinking about the inhalations and the exhalations being about the same length, maybe counting 3 or 4 counts for each inhalation and exhalation. And perhaps you want to add a hold at the top and bottom of the breath. Just extending that space between inhaling and exhaling where you're neither inhaling nor exhaling. And just take 2 more of these really deep, full breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth, really smooth and even. And then the next time that you exhale all the way through your nose, let the following inhalation be easy and natural. And let your breath return back to that natural, effortless rhythm. And let your eyes float open. Let your hands fall back down to your lap if they are on your chest and your belly. And we'll start warming up the joints of the neck and shoulders. So let your chin fall down towards your chest. Feel a really gentle stretch into the back side of your neck. And then roll your head over towards the right, reaching the right shoulder down towards the, reaching the right ear down towards the right shoulder, but keeping the shoulders even, letting that stretch move into the left side of your neck. And then roll your head down through center and around over to the left, still keeping both shoulders coming down towards the ground. Now the stretch has moved into the right side of your neck. And again, let your head roll down through center and around for 2 to 3 really big rotations of the head, working to keep the neck really long, especially as you reach the head backwards, so there's no crunching into the cervical vertebrae. And the next time your chin is down towards your chest, rest there for a moment. And then roll the head around to the left. Again, 3 big rotations, working to keep the neck really long as you reach the head backwards. And the next time your chin is down towards your chest, pause, and gently bring the head back up to neutral. And then we'll roll the shoulders backwards, starting to warm up the shoulder joints. And then bring your hands to your shoulders, roll the elbows backwards. And then swim the arms backwards, and as you do, just follow your hands with your eyes, so that each time that you reach back, you're taking a really gentle spinal twist. And in reverse, swim forwards, still following the hands with the eyes, still taking that twist as you reach backwards. And then bring the hands to the shoulders, roll the elbows forwards. And release the hands down, just roll the shoulders forwards. And relax the shoulders now. And walk your hands out in front of you, coming into a table position, a nice neutral table, so that your shoulders are over the wrists, and the hips are right over the knees. And keeping everything nice and even like this, just rotate the hands outwards, so now your wrists are facing forwards. And if you want to, you can tuck your toes on the mat to make this a little bit less intense, and then send the hips back towards the heels, so you feel a really big stretch into the fronts of the forearms, into the wrists, and even into the hands. Then coming back up to the neutral table, keep the fingers pointing backwards, just flip the hands over so that the top of the hands are on the mat. And then again, send your hips backwards, and again you can tuck your toes to make it a little bit less intense. And now you're stretching into the tops of the forearms, and again into the wrists and to the tops of the hands. Then come back up to your neutral table and gently, gingerly place the hands flat on the mat with the fingers facing forward again. And to roll that out, we'll take a couple of rotations, the shoulders over the hands in one direction first. And then switch directions. And then pause again on your neutral table. We'll take a couple of cat-cows. Take a nice big inhalation in your table. And as you exhale, round the spine up, look inwards, come into your cat pose. Really press into the shins, the knees, and the hands to lift the spine up as high as you can, stretching into the back side of the body. And then with your inhalation, let the belly fall down towards the ground, lift the head and the hips, stretch into the front side of the body for your cow pose. And then exhale back to your cat pose. And inhale to your neutral table. And we'll thread the needle, send the right hand up towards the ceiling, and then thread the right hand down, putting the right shoulder on the ground and the right temple. Send the left hand up towards the ceiling. You can turn your head to look up towards that extended hands. And if you want to, you can reach the left hand behind you, either grab your shirt or your hip, or you can grab the right thigh and really twist the chest open up towards the ceiling. Just take a couple breaths here. Really working to open up the chest. And we'll get out the same way we came in. So send the left hand straight up. And then gently press the left hand onto the ground to bring your body back up to your neutral table. And in between sides, we'll take a round of cat-cow. So take a nice big inhalation in your neutral table. Exhale to your cat pose, sending the spine up towards the ceiling, stretching through the backside of the body. Inhale, cow pose, stretching through the front side of the body. And exhale, cats. And inhale to neutral. And I'll thread the needle on the other side, send the left hand up towards the ceiling. And thread the left hand through, bringing the left shoulder down to the ground, left temple to the ground. Right hand straight up towards the ceiling. You can look at your raised hand. And if you want to, you can reach the right hand behind you, grab the hip or the leg. Using that grip to open up the shoulder and the chest, really turning up towards the ceiling. And to come out, send the right hand up towards the ceiling again. And place the right hand down on the ground. Press into the right hand, come back to your table position. Take a nice big inhalation, neutral table. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And inhale to your neutral table. And take your hands one hand length out from where they were. Tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. And in this first downward facing dog, pedal out the feet. Stretch into one leg at a time. Find any motion that you need to start waking up the backside of the legs. And from your downward facing dog pose, come onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels up as high as possible, and then press into the hands to send the chest back as close to the thighs as you can. And then keeping everything in the same place in space, just slowly lower the heels back down towards the ground. This should make slightly stretchier downward facing dog with the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Then take little steps all the way to the front of the mat. See about putting down the heels with each small step as you make your way forward. And when you can't put the heels down on the ground anymore, just walk the hands back towards the feet. And keep a small bend in your knees for this first forward fold, and relax the body forwards. If you'd rather hold on to the elbows, you're welcome to take that, a ragdoll position. And again, find a little bit of motion. Anything that feels good for you right now. You can sway from side to side, shift the weight forward and backwards in the feet, make circles. Really just waking up the hamstrings, the calves, behind the knees, and the Achilles tendons. If you decided to hold on to your elbows, Relax your hands back down towards the ground. Bend the knees and slowly roll up to stand. Stack the vertebrae one on top of the next. Move nice and slow, leaving the head and neck for last. If you're not at the front of the mat, you can take a step forward so you have the full mat to work with as we start doing our sun salutations. So we'll take a modified sun salutation first to start warming up the body. With an inhalation, bring your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Try and keep the back long for as long as you can before you round the spine. With an inhalation, we're going to twist to the right. Send the right hand up towards the ceiling. Take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Look up towards your raised hand. And exhale, fold. Inhale, twist to the left. Left hand up towards the ceiling. Right hand to the outside of the left leg. And exhale, fold. Inhale, you can lift the right foot up and send it back as far as you can reach it. Lower the right knee down to the ground. And lift head, neck, and chest, look forward, stretch into the hips as you lower them down towards the ground. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale forward to your plank pose. And exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin, Ashtagrasana pose, 8-point pose. Inhale, glide through forward to a little tiny cobra pose, elbows back, shoulders down. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step the right foot all the way to the front of the mat, lower the left knee down, look forward and lift the chest, send the hips down for a stretch. And exhale, step the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand with a long back. Exhale the hands together in front of your heart. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist to the left first this time. Left hand up, right hand to the outside of the left leg. And exhale, fold. Inhale, twist to the right, right hand up. Left hand to the outside of the right leg. Look up, twist. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left foot back as far as you can reach it. Lower the left knee, look forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come all the way forward to your plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, little cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot between the hands. Same little lunge, drop the knee, look forward. And exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, arms up alongside your ears. And exhale, your hands together in front of the heart. Inhale here. And exhale, hands down alongside the hips, Tadasana mountain pose. We'll take a couple Surya Namaskara A's, slightly more traditional Surya Namaskaras. With an inhalation, bring your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, forward fold, long spine. Inhale, press into the hands, look forward, straighten out the back. If you need to, you can place your hands on your shins. And exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Inhale, send your weight forward as your shoulders come in front of your wrists. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Flip the feet, inhalation, press into the hands, come up a little bit higher, slightly bigger cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhalation, look between your hands and step or take a small hop to the front of the mat. Extend the back, look forward. And exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend long spine, look forward. Exhale, step back to your plank pose. Inhale, shift the weight forward. And exhale to the ground. Flip the feet, inhale, press into the hands, full cobra pose, so lifting the chest up as high as you can with the pelvis staying on the ground, shoulders down away from the ears, elbows back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands and step or take a small hop to the front of the mat, extend your spine long, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, bring your arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine, look forward. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, all the way to the ground. Flip the feet. Inhale, this time press into the hands, straighten out the elbows, the pelvis lifts up, but the shoulders are still down away from the ears. Upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands, step or hop front of the mat, extend nice and long, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to stand. And exhale, your hands together in the front of the heart. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend long spine. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, this time bend the elbows towards the rib cage, chest forward, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Step or a little hop to the front of the mat. Extend nice long spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, arms up. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step straight back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward. Inhale, look between your hands. And step or hop front of the mat. Extend, and exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand. And exhale, your hands together. Inhale here. And exhale, hands down alongside the hips, Tadasana, mountain pose. Grounding down through the feet, feeling really steady and still. Taking a couple breaths here, observing the breath, noticing if you're starting to build some heat from those Surya Namaskara A's. How's your heart rate? How's your breath? And we'll keep building that heat as we move into some modified Surya Namaskara B's, adding some standing poses. So with an inhalation, bring your arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend long spine. Exhale, step or hop, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step the right foot between the hands to a lunge. Keep the left heel up off the ground and bring the arms up alongside the ears for a crescent pose. And look up to stretch through the front side of the body. And then exhale the hands down to either side of the right foot. Step the right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward. Inhale, step the left foot between the hands to that same lunge. Keep the right heel lifted up off the ground. Bring the arms up alongside the ears for your crescent pose. You can reach up and a little bit back to really stretch to the front side of the body. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down. Step the left foot back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward. Inhale, look between the hands, and step or hop in front of the mat. extend first, and exhale, defold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart. We'll do something like that again. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right foot between the hands to a lunge, but this time lower the left heel down to the ground so the foot's about 45 degrees, and bring the arms up alongside the ears, warrior one. With your next exhalation, hands down, right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward. Now inhale, left foot between the hands, lower the right foot down, and bring the arms up, warrior one on the other side. And with your next exhalation, both hands down, step the left foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing. Inhalation between the hands, and step or hop front of the mat. Extend, and exhale, fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up alongside the ears. And exhale, your hands together in front of the heart. Inhale here. And exhale, the hands down alongside the hips. Finding stillness and observing your body. We'll take a couple wide-legged forward folds. So with your next inhalation, we'll take the right foot back about 3 feet. And we'll inhale, bring the arms up alongside the ears. Pivot on the heels so that both of the feet are facing the same direction and the feet are parallel to each other. And then exhale, the hands down to the ground. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, use your hands on the ground to draw the torso between the legs so the top of the head is coming down towards the ground. And think about your feet and your hands and your head trying to be in one straight line. The head might be a little bit out in front. Keep drawing the shoulders down the spine. And really think about this being a really big stretch for the hamstrings and the groin. So keep drawing the torso backwards. With your next inhalation, come up halfway onto the hands. Exhale there. And inhale, come all the way to stand. Bring the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, the hands down behind you. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, open up the chest. And then as you exhale, fold forward. This time letting the hands come up and over. So the pinky edge of the hands is coming down towards the ground in front of you. Still think about your head coming towards the ground between the feet. Thinking about the torso coming between the legs. Try to keep the weight even in the feet, so notice if you're leaning more into the toes or more into the heels, and try to even that out. With the next inhalation, bring the hands back down towards the ground. Extend and exhale there. And inhale, come all the way back up to stand. And as we exhale, we'll step the right foot up to meet the left at the front of the mat. Bring the arms back down alongside the hips, coming back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. All right, with the next inhalation, bring the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, nice deep forward fold. Inhale, extend, long spine, you can look forward. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing. And step the right foot between the hands to a lunge. Lower the left heel down to the ground, getting ready for warrior two this time. So the foot can be about 90 degrees from the front. And then cartwheel the hands up and open to your warrior two. So now checking that the right knee is behind the right big toe, so you can see your right big toe. Your shoulders should be about over your hips, trying not to lean forward or backwards yet. Your gaze can be right through the right hand, the top of the hands, looking through the right middle finger. And with an inhalation, we're going to reach forward, and then you can either place the right hand down to the ground on the inside of the right foot, or you can place the forearm onto the right thigh and bring the left hand over so it's reaching forwards. Coming into extended side angle pose, thinking about making one straight line from the left fingertips, left shoulder, left hips, all the way down to the left foot, which usually means getting a little bit lower. And with an inhalation, we're going to come back up to our warrior two. And then drop the left hand down the left leg. Reach the right hand up first, and then back. Stretching through the right side body, staying nice and deep in the right knee in your reverse warrior. And with your next inhalation, we'll come back to our warrior two. And then as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to either side of the right foot. Step your right foot back to your plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And with an inhalation, step the left foot between the hands to a lunge. Lower the right foot down, and cartwheel the arms up, warrior two on the other side. Again, look down, make sure you can see your left big toe. Try to center your shoulders over your hips. Try not to lean forward or backwards yet. And then with an inhalation, reach forwards and either lower the left hand down to the ground or put the left forearm on the left thigh and reach the right hand straight forwards. Trying to steady your breath in your side angle pose, staying nice and deep through the hips. Really thinking about creating that straight line from the fingertips, the shoulder, the hips, and the foot. And then with an inhalation, we'll come up to our warrior two. Drop the right hand down the right leg. Reach the left hand up first, and then backwards, really stretching into the left side body, but staying nice and deep in the left knee. With your next inhalation, come back to your warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down, exhale, stepping the left foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing. Inhale, look forward. And step or hop to the front of the mat. Extend, get nice and long. And exhale, forward fold. And in this forward fold, bend the knees so your chest rests on your thighs, regardless of how much bend that needs to be in the knees. You can bend the knees really deeply. And take your hands and place them all the way underneath your feet so your toes reach all the way to your wrists. So if you wiggle your toes, you can feel the wiggle on your wrists.
And stop wiggling your toes. And just gently begin to straighten the knees. This knees may or may not become straight. It's totally fine for them to stay bent. If the knees do become straight, you can start to bend the elbows, bring the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Really trying to enjoy this deep forward stretch, getting the most out of it. By lifting the toes up, the stretch is a little bit more intense than a regular standing forward fold. We're lengthening the superficial back line, the line that runs from the toes along the underneath the feet, the back side of the body, and all the way over the head to the eyebrows. And by pulling the feet up and back towards our body, we're making that line a little bit longer. It makes it a slightly deeper stretch. And then relax your hands out from underneath your feet. Keep a little bend in your knees and roll up to stand nice and slow. Okay, we'll do something like that again. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, nice deep forward fold. Inhale, extend, long spine. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot between the hands to a lunge. Lower the left heel down to the ground, getting ready for warrior two again. And then cartwheel your hands up, warrior two. In this warrior two, we will straighten the right leg, extend that knee, and with your inhalations, reach forward, and then lower the right hand down the right leg, reaching for the shin, the ankle, the foot, or the floor, and reach the left hand straight up, coming into your triangle pose, Trikonasana. Trying to make the arms into one straight line, 180 degrees. You can look up at your raised hand, but if that bothers your neck, you're more than welcome to look down at your right foot as well. Especially if you're looking down, you can really notice the orientation of your torso in space. So if your body's out in front of that right leg, try to really draw it backwards. So it's like your body is being pressed between two panes of glass. And that might mean that you have to come up a little bit, and then back, and then lower the torso back down. And in this triangle pose, you should feel a stretch in the left side body, and the back of the right leg, and into the right groin. With the inhalation, we're going to reach up to the left fingertips, and come back to the warrior two, bending into the right knee. And exhale the hands down to either side of the right foot. Step the right foot back to your plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing. Inhale, step the left foot between the hands to a lunge. Lower the right heel down to the ground, getting ready for warrior two again. Cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Then extend the left leg. Reach the left fingertips as far forward as you can. And lower the left hand down, right hand up. Again, you can look at the raised hand or you can look down at the ground. Make sure that the torso is right over the leg, so you might need to draw the body backwards. Keep the bottom shoulder open, don't collapse. And feel the stretch into the right side body, the back of the left leg, and the left groin. And with the next inhalation, reach up and out to the right fingertips, coming back to your warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down to either side of the left foot. Step the left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between the hands. You can step or hop to the front of the mat. Extend nice and long, and exhale, forward fold. And again, bend the knees, place the torso onto the legs. Again, it can be a really deep bend through the knees. We'll take the hands behind the feet this time and hold on to the ankles from behind. And gently begin to straighten the legs. And just like before, the legs may or may not become straight. And relax the hands back down to the ground. And inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Exhale the hands together in front of your heart. And inhale here. And exhale the hands down alongside the hips, taking a couple breaths in your mountain pose. Really feeling sturdy and strong as you ground down through the feet, keeping the shoulders down and back away from the ears so the chest is open, feeling lifted through the crown of the head. And with an inhalation, bring your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend the long spine. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And lower the left knee down to the ground. From here, we're going to lower the torso down towards the ground. If it's more comfortable for you to come onto your forearms, you are welcome to come onto the forearms. If you'd rather use a block, you can use a block. It's fine to round the spine. We're going to take a lizard pose for a couple breaths. So you should start to feel a stretch into the right hip. Then come back up onto the hands. We're going to lift the left knee back up off the ground by tucking the toes under. We're going to take a nice big hop switch, sending the hips up as we bring the right foot back and the left hip forward. So with a 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And we'll take another one. 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And last one. 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And then we'll take our lizard on the other side, so you can lower the right heel down to the ground. And lower down onto the forearms if that's more comfortable for you. You can stay up on the arms as well. It's fun to round the back in this lizard pose. Should take a really, really enjoyable, comfortable, juicy, deep lizard pose. Back up onto the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up on the ground, up off the ground, and again we'll take a couple hop switches. So with a 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And last one, 1, 2, 3, hop switch. And again we'll lower the left knee down to the ground, but this time we're going to extend the right leg and fold forward over the right leg. So the right leg is straight, the hips are squared towards the front of the room. We're taking a half split or half Hanumanasana, folding forward, bringing the head down towards the shin. And bend through the right knee, shift your weight forward again. Take the right hand back to the inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes underneath, lift the left knee up on the ground, up off the ground, and switch. And switch. And switch. And then take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, lower the right knee down to the ground, and send the left knee towards straight. Fold forward over the left leg, sending the chest down towards the left shin. Really deep stretch for the hamstring and the calf. Try to keep the hips squared towards the short edge of the mat. The more squared the hips are, the bigger the stretch will be. And bend into the left knee. Send your weight forward again, tuck the back toes under, lift the right knee up off the ground, left hand to the inside of the left foot, and switch, and switch, and switch. Great. Lower the left knee down to the ground. Take the right hand to the outside of the right foot. We're going to bend the left knee, so we're lifting the left foot up off the ground. Reach around the right foot, reach around the right hand, see if you can grab the left foot. If you can, hold on. If it's not accessible for you, that's totally fine. See if you can reach it with the left hand. If it's not accessible on that side either, we're just gonna keep the left foot lifted up off the ground, even though we're not touching it. And then with that left foot lifted, we're gonna send the hips down towards the ground. So it's a dual motion, left foot in and the hips down. And then release the back foot if you're holding it, or just lower it back down to the ground. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the left knee up off the ground. Right hand to the inside of the right foot. Switch. Switch. And switch. And lower the right knee down to the ground. Left hand to the outside of the left foot. Lift the right foot up off the ground. See if you can grab it with the left hand. If you can't grab it with the left hand, see if you can grab it with the right hand. If neither hand works, also fine. Just lift the back foot up off the ground. And as you do, with that back foot lifted, send the hips down towards the ground. Should be a pretty intense stretch. Some key points here. So try to keep the left foot underneath the left knee. So you always want the foot to be a little bit in front of the knee and not behind the knee. And if you're feeling any pain in the back knee, it might be because you're up too high on the patella, on the kneecap. So opening up the legs a little bit more will make it more comfortable for the back knee. And then we'll release that back foot down to the ground. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee up off the ground. Left hand to the inside of the right foot. And we'll just step that left foot straight back to our plank pose. Inhale forward, exhale chaturanga. Inhale upward facing dog. And exhale downward facing dog. We'll take a couple breaths in this downward facing dog. Really setting the heels down towards the ground. Hips back, and plug the shoulders into the shoulder sockets, roll the triceps down towards the ground. Try to keep weight spread evenly in the hands, middle finger going forward, hands nice and wide. And we'll come up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees really deeply, getting ready for a big spring forward. And when you're ready, take your biggest jump, lifting the hips up and then placing the feet down on the mat. And we'll extend and exhale, fold. And heel toe the feet apart so they're about hip width. And then we're going to lower the hips down, coming into our garland pose, malasana pose. Little squat. So you can use the elbows to open up the knees, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Try to send the chest forward and the shoulders back. And by doing these things at the same time, elbows into knees, chest forward, shoulders back, you can really open up the hips a little bit more, get a little bit more of a stretch here. And then from our garland pose, we're going to come into a crow pose of your choice. So you can do crow a couple different ways. You can start by placing the hands on the ground in front of you, keeping the elbows bent and the knees on the outside of the triceps. And then shifting your weight forward, putting the weight really on the back of your arms, and sending the weight forward, forward, forward until you feel like you don't need your toes anymore and the toes can come up off the ground. Another version of crow is to start up a little bit higher, so you can put your knees closer to your armpits, and then everything else is the same. You shift your weight forward, 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 until you feel like you don't need your your feet anymore, and you can lift your feet up off the ground. If you're in one of those crows and you want to shoot it back today, you're totally welcome to do that. So from either crow, you can send the feet straight back to your chaturanga, or you can just step to your chaturanga, and we'll all take our upward facing dog together. And exhale, downward facing. And with your next inhalation, look between your hands, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, take your biggest jump, sending your feet maybe a little bit through your hands, a little bit in front of your hands. And then sit down on the mat. So we'll take a couple seated stretches, starting with Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So you might want to take the flesh away from the sits bones. Sit up nice and tall in Dandasana to start. You can bring the hands next to the hips, shoulders down and back, lifting from the crown of the head, really strong and tall. And then with an inhalation, bring the arms up alongside the ears. And exhale, forward fold. And you can use your breath in your forward fold to bring you deeper. So with your inhalation, you can send the body forward, getting longer. And as you exhale, you bring the body down, folding deeper. So again, inhale again, get longer. And exhale, get deeper. You can really think about trying to find that edge, that kind of gray space between discomfort and pain. So not crossing over into the pain zone, staying on the discomfort side, but really pressing up against that edge and holding yourself in that space, practicing your willpower, your mental capability to be uncomfortable. Because really the more comfortable you are when you're uncomfortable, the happier you're going to be. With your next inhalation, reach out past your feet and come all the way back up to seated, and exhale the hands down. We're going to take the right leg in, bend the right knee, open up the right knee so the right knee falls out to the side, and then keeping the left foot straight forward, we're going to open up the hips a little bit. So we're opening up the hips to the right, and then we're going to fold forward over the right heel. Look to your left, see your left foot, take the left elbow and press it into the left thigh, and you can karate chop the ground, and then bring the right hand behind the head. And as you do, send the right elbow up. So you're opening up the chest towards the ceiling, press against the thigh, and lift the elbow up at the same time. So you're using that pressure against the thigh to create some traction for you to get deeper into this opening twisty shape. Really setting that elbow up as high as you can. And then without changing anything at all, except for the right arm, just send the right arm forward, over the left leg. Big, big stretch from the right fingertips along the whole right side body, all the way down to the right hip point. Your next inhalation will come back up. Send the right foot out to meet the left and draw the left foot in. And then the same thing, we're going to open up. So right foot still straight forward, we're just opening the hip towards the long edge of the mat. We're going to fold forward over the left heel. Place the right elbow into the right thigh and karate chop the ground. And then we'll take the left hand to the back of the head. And pressing the elbow against the thigh, we'll lift the left elbow up. So we're rotating the torso upwards. We should already be starting to feel that stretch. And then keeping everything the same, we'll send the left hand forward. So it's a really big stretch. From the left hip point throughout the whole left side body, all the way to the left fingers. And then we'll inhale, come all the way back up, and send the left foot out in front. We're going to send the right foot in again, but we're going to keep the right knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And then we'll wrap the left hand around the right knee, send the right hand back so that the heel of the hand is facing towards the sacrum. And press into the right hand, lift, inhale, and then exhale, we'll twist from the belly first, then the rib cage, then chest, shoulders, and lastly, turn the head and neck over the right shoulder. Try to keep the left leg engaged, keep the left foot flexed. Try to keep the shoulders even. Really think about this twist coming from the base of the spine and moving all the way up through the crown of the head so that the spine is long and straight, it's just twisting. And inhale, take a nice big inhalation, get a little bit taller, and exhale, twist a tiny bit deeper. And then inhale again, get taller, and exhale, untwist from the head, shoulders, ribs, chest, and belly. And then we'll send the right foot out to meet the left, and draw the left foot in. We'll drop the right arm around the left knee, send the left arm behind us so the palm is down and the heel of the hand is facing the sacrum. Inhale to get nice and tall, and exhale to twist from the belly, ribs, chest, and shoulders. And lastly, turn the head and neck over the left shoulder. Try to keep the shoulders even. Try to keep the spine long so that this twist is coming from the base of the spine, moving all the way through the spinal column and finishing at the very crown of the head. Keep that right leg engaged, keep the right foot flexed. Really bringing out the internal organs. Inhale, get a little bit taller. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, get a little taller. And exhale, head, neck, chest, torso, belly. We'll send the left foot out to meet the right. Take a short forward fold. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, get long through the chest. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. The last one, inhale, extend. And exhale, fold. Inhale, hands out in front of you. Come all the way back up to seated. And exhale the hands down to the ground. And bend through the knees, send the hips forward, lay all the way back onto the ground. We're going to take just a couple bridge poses. So plant your hands next to your hips, and then pressing into the hands and the feet, slowly peel the hips up off the ground. Try to keep the legs engaged so that the knees are coming in towards each other. They don't have to touch, but you should be engaging the muscles that are drawing the knees inwards. If you want to, you can tuck your shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers, and then press into the whole arm to give yourself a little bit more stability and lift the chest and the hips a tiny bit higher. And then we will untuck the shoulders and slowly lower the hips back down towards the ground, thinking about one vertebra touching the ground at a time. And then bring the knees in towards the chest and gently rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. And we'll take one more back bend, so plant the feet again. Do the same thing, press into the hands, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and tuck the shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers, press into the whole length of the arm. If you have a block, for the second one you can take a more relaxed version by placing a block right underneath the sacrum and then letting your body drape over that block. If you don't have a block and it's comfortable for you, you can also use your hands by placing the hands right above the sacrum and using the forearms as a block. Then if you're using your block or your hands, we'll just move them away. And again, lower the hips really carefully down to the ground. And again, draw your knees into your chest, and just gently rock from side to side. And for an inversion today, we'll take a shoulder stand. So send your feet straight up towards the ceiling. Place the hands on the ground. Then pressing into the hands, we're going to lift the hips up off the ground and send the feet backwards so the toes come towards the ground behind us. They may or may not touch. If it's more comfortable for you, you can put your hands on your lower back, or if you want to take the full version of your plow pose, your halasana, you can interlace the fingers, extend the arms long, and again press the whole length of the arm against the ground to really lift the hips up. If you want to, you can also take another version of this pose by putting the knees onto the forehead. This can be really relaxing. There's a pressure point on your forehead that's very relaxing to press on. You can also take the knees on the outside of the head and press against the temples with the knees. Any of these versions are totally fine. The full version of the halasana is a really nice stretch with the backside of the legs. Whichever version you decided to take, we're going to start to move towards our shoulder stand now. So you can bring your hands to the lower back. Try to keep your hands glued together, so all of your fingers touching each other. It's really, really tempting to take the thumbs around the body and really hold the body. But instead, put the whole hand against the back as a little paddle hand, and then lift one foot up and the other, coming into your shoulder stand, really thinking about being on the shoulders, not on the neck. And trying to lift up enough so that your feet are over your hips and your hips are over your shoulders. A lot of the work in a shoulder stand is keeping the legs together. It's really easy to let them fall apart, but engage and keep the legs together, keep the legs strong. You can keep the feet flexed or demi-flexed. then we'll get out the same way we came in. So lower the hands back down to the ground and lower the feet to the ground behind you. And then using your arms as a runway, slowly lower the hips towards the ground really carefully. And once you have lowered the hips down towards the ground, you can actually bend the knees and just put the feet flat onto the ground. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees here to release the lower back. And then we'll take the arms out into a T position. Press into your feet, move your hips a couple inches over to the left, and then let both knees come over to the right. If you want to, you can use your right hand on top of the left knee to draw that knee down. Try to keep both shoulders on the ground. So you can have a really nice supine twist. If you'd rather take another version of this pose, you're welcome to. If you want to send both legs straight or just the top leg straight, any of these versions are totally fine. Whatever works for you and is most rejuvenating right now. And then bring the knees back through center. Press into the hands again, and now bring the hips over to the right and let the knees fall over to the left. Again, you can use your left hand on the right knee. Both shoulders down towards the ground. You can look towards the right hand now. And again, take any variation that you took on the first side. So if you straightened one of your legs or both of your legs on the first side, take that same version on the second side so you can stay nice and balanced. Then bring the knees back up to center. Draw both knees in towards the chest. Reach between the legs to grab the feet for your happy baby pose. And the soles of the feet come up towards the ceiling with the tailbone coming down towards the ground. And then you can rock from side to side. And then take any last motions that you need in order to feel complete. Any weird last little stretches that you have to get out of your system before you can relax into your Shavasana. And as you're ready, start to make your way towards your Shavasana, your final relaxation pose. And lay back on the mats all the way with your feet maybe rolling out, but it's also fine if they roll in. You can tuck your hips and your shoulders underneath you. If you need to add an extra layer of clothing so that you feel warm and comfortable, you're welcome to do that right now. You're also welcome to grab something to cover your eyes so that you can really relax into this pose. And to help you relax, take a nice big inhalation in through your nose, filling up your breath. Holding that breath for a moment. And then sighing it all out through your mouth. And once more, big inhalation in through your nose. Holding that breath for a moment. And sighing it all out. And one last time, really big inhalation in through your nose. Holding that breath. And relax it all out. And in your Shavasana, start to notice all of the places where your body is touching the ground. So pay attention to maybe your shoulders or your hips,
those contact points between you and the ground, and notice any sensations that are occurring in those locations. So notice if it's cold, if the ground is hard, if your yoga mat is soft. And then feel that contact strengthen, that pressure increase, so that as you're lying in your Shavasana, you're starting to sink deeper down into the floor. You're becoming heavier, succumbing to gravity a little bit more, surrendering. And as you get heavy and still and quiet, perhaps the motion of your mind becomes more obvious. There's a whole lot to worry about these days. So if your mind is really active and you're starting to leave your practice, notice those thoughts, but don't judge them and don't judge yourself. See if you can see those thoughts, but not hold on to them or chase them. Just let them float by. Release them. Just notice that they're happening and let them go. And as you continue to observe your mind, noticing the thoughts that pop up, see if you can also notice the space between your thoughts. And see if you can shift your attention to the places where thoughts are not happening. See if you can let that space get a little bit bigger, a little bit more peace, a little bit more room for the next couple minutes. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, gently inviting movement back into your body. And roll your wrists and your ankles. Reach overhead, take a big stretch. From your fingertips all the way to your toes. And draw your knees up to your chest. And give yourself a small hug before rolling onto your right side for a couple more breaths of rest. You can let your top shoulder be heavy, falling down towards the ground in front of you. And use your right arm as a pillow. And keep your eyes closed. Staying here for just a couple more moments. And then pressing into your left hand, gently raise the body back up towards seated, coming back towards a comfortable seated position on your mat. Maybe ending exactly where you started, coming full circle. And bringing the hands together in front of your heart. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that we could be together in person again sometime soon.